Hello everyone. So today I want to talk about something I've noticed on so many creators like YouTube's TikToks everywhere. And it's going to be called audience poachers. I've noticed this phenomenon of people trying to poach other people's audience. And I'm not talking like you know they just go over there and they're like being friendly and they naturally get subscribers from that. I don't think that's poaching at all. Or even people who try to do it subtly. I am talking about people who will go out of their way to say, "Oh my god, why are you watching them? You need to come over to my channel." What is wrong with you? Like, that's so fucking lame, bro. And it's like this also happens in real life, but with friends or people just like gravitating to like a person and people getting mad. I've had this happen in my life. I've seen it happen in others' lives, and I'm gonna give some examples. So I've had people walk up to somebody who they thought were my date, who wasn't. They were my brother, and they were like, "Wouldn't you rather hang out with us?" It's like they have no level of embarrassment or pride or just anything. They do not care how fucking desperate they look, how insecure they look, how and like everyone can see you're intimidated by this person. They do not care. They do not care. Like, it's like they have no shame. And I was laughing in their face. And my brother was like, "Oh my god, I cannot believe this just happened." And that's happened to me a number of times. Now, I see this translate to friendships, to YouTube, and social media in general, where people will go to another creator's page and be like, "Why are you listening to this guy? You should sub to me." I don't understand that, like, they have no shame about it. Like, they don't see how, like, the world views them. I don't get that. I don't get how it's like that thing of like any attention is still attention to them. Like, it doesn't matter if it's negative or positive, they still want that amount of attention. And I'm just like, dude, are you not embarrassed? And I just want to know, is this like undiagnosed histrionic personality disorder? Because, like, how are you so comfortable doing that and you feel no shame about it? Like, one, why can't both of you guys just have an audience? Why can't they like this person and like you? Like, I see this often on music videos where people in the comments like, "Oh, his music sucks. Come stream mine." I'm just like, dude, why can't they just listen to his music and your music? Why does it have to be a competition? I don't get it. And I'm just like, you're such a loser. And no one goes to stream these people's thing. I noticed that, like, they do it, they bomb the comments. I remember back in the day, this was like years ago, I want to say like 10 years ago, where everyone would be like, don't self promote in my comments or I'm gonna delete it. And I'm like, it wasn't even like normal self promotion. It wasn't like, "Oh, hey, I just dropped a song, stream it or sub to me, guys." Like, that was really annoying. But it was worse than that. Like, it's what I'm telling you now. Like, they were trying to poach the audience. Like, they didn't want this creator to have an audience. They just wanted them to only watch their stuff. And I will never understand that. Like, why can't everyone have an audience? I don't get it. I don't get why. If you don't like this creator, why are you even over there? This also goes, I see a lot of TikTok videos where people are like, "I don't understand why this person even has a fan base. You guys platform the wrong people. Why can't you platform me, someone like me?" Like, dude, you're like, okay, you're just so openly jealous of this person. It's so visceral how, like, I don't know, like, I mean, I'm just saying, like, didn't people used to at least hide their jealousy of other people? I don't get it. And it's something I've seen across every platform. And I'd be like, dang, like, you have no shame about you, honey. You just don't care. You will do anything for that attention, won't you? And then you see those same people tend to do literally anything for attention. Like, they are unrelenting, like they will not stop. And it's like, you people need to hug your children and give them attention, because Jesus, they will come into the world and make it our problem that they did not get enough attention at home. And it's hard to watch, and it's just sad. It's just so sad to see. Like, I've it's always wanted this since I was a kid. Like, I don't get why you're doing this and you don't feel embarrassment by how like desperate you are, and how in their mind it just, even if people are looking at them in a negative way, they just keep going. They just keep on and keep on pushing. I won't ever get it. But yeah, it happens so often. It happens in like fucking every arena, everywhere. There is someone in who used to be in my life who would actively scream anytime I talked. Now here's the thing. This person was an adult. And this is not the only time I've seen this behavior. And I was just like, dude, what is happening here? Like, you need to be diagnosed with something. And this is like way before I even learned what histrionic personality disorder was. But, and I'm not saying that all the time that, you see these subscriber poachers, that they are that, but I do feel like it's like this low level. I wouldn't say it's low level, but it's just like these little things that society has, that we don't like it, obviously, right? Like, everyone calls them out and they won't stop it. But it's happening so frequent with so many different people. And I think that's what like I'm not getting, like, what shift is society having to where this is so normalized? Well, I mean, back in the day, like before all these things were created, people were still doing it, but they were more so doing it in person. Like the person that was talking about, where she would literally scream whenever I was talking, because she did not want me to talk, and she did not want people to pay attention to me. And like and that is not the only time that has happened to me. And every time it's happened to me, I'm like, what is wrong with you? Like, you cannot be this intimidated by another person to where them merely speaking makes you act this way. And it does make me a little afraid for society. Like, what, like, how do we cope with this? Like, what do we do? Because I say put him in jail. I ain't got time for this, okay? But like, as a society, I'm just like, dang, like, it doesn't matter, where we turn, this kind of behavior is happening, and it's exhausting to deal with. And like, of course, like, if you're on YouTube or TikTok, just block them. But in person, like, it really does take a toll on your mental health. It's just like, why are you screaming every time I speak? Why are you interjecting every time someone speaks to me? Why is it so hard for you to not be the center of attention? Like, I've seen some people who have the disorder come out and speak about it and how it feels from them. But I'm not saying they don't have it, because they've been diagnosed with it. So like, they clearly have met the criteria. But what they're describing, well, one of the commenters, she was like, oh, it's just like a need for like connection for me. And I'm just like, I think that may be someone who has it but has like low symptoms, I guess. They may not be doing the stuff that I've experienced, because even if you have a need for connection, that's not going to cause you to scream over someone speaking. Like, that I don't, those two things don't correlate to me. Like, you may want attention or like keep pushing, but like, no, like, these people go really far with the things they do. And it just gets to a point where you're like, dude, like, enough is enough. And it starts really young. Like, remember those videos of the little girls who will blow out another kid's birthday candles? It's never checked then. And it spirals. It spirals because, like, oh my goodness. I just don't get that. Like, I don't understand why their parents think it's funny. It's not funny. It's not cute. The parents probably like that themselves and encourages it. And if it's not checked at the door, it's going to continue to grow, and then society has to deal with it, and then I have to deal with it, and I don't want to deal with it. Because once they're an adult and it comes to me, I'm going to hurt their feelings. And everyone's going to look at me like I'm the bad guy, and I'm not going to care. Because that's another thing. When people call them out and when people say, like, dude, you're obnoxious, everyone's like, oh no, you don't have to be so mean about it. I don't care. Someone needs to be mean about it. Someone needs to call this person out and tell them how they're affecting other people because it's obnoxious. And I was watching a clip of, I believe, Mecca and Jamila's podcast where she was like, back in the day, someone would be like, sit your ass down, you're getting on everybody's nerves. Yes, that needs to be, and it doesn't have to be so aggressive like how we grew up with, okay? Even though, like, whatever. But someone needs to tell people to stop. Like, I had people in my life growing up who were never told to stop. It was laughed off, and those people are still doing the same things, still don't have stable relationships, and they wonder why. Because you are constantly begging for attention as if it's not 20 other people here who also want to talk, and you're a chore to be around. And at some point, like, I feel like they're setting these kids up for failure, and probably a lot of them don't care, because if they're obnoxious, it makes them look better, which is like a whole nother thing of like them trying to set you up for failure. You know what I mean? And but yeah, like, if you aren't a horrible person, then I feel like people should just check this early on so that the rest of the world doesn't have to deal with it. Like, I've had people who, like, oh my god, it's actually fucking pathetic. But it would be their birthday and I would celebrate them. I'll be happy for them. It would be my birthday and they would, like, purposely pretend they forgot, or like, oh, I wish it was my birthday. You were, oh my god. Like, that is what? You can't even let someone have a birthday without it causing you to have this, like, turmoil inside. Like, because you constantly need to be the center of attention. And I've met grown people like that. Like, grown. And it was just ridiculous. And what gets me is the people who do this will turn around and tell the other people that they want attention when they speak. Like, bitch, you have been speaking for the last 30 minutes. And then when someone else speaks, they'll be like, oh, you always have to be the center. You always have to speak. And as someone who I will call that out immediately, I'm often like told, oh, just to ignore them. I will not, because if you're gonna be around me, you're gonna be respectful. But I just, man, I don't understand society's go along to get along behavior, or like attitudes on life, because I personally don't want to be around anyone who acts that way or behaves that way. And I've noticed, like, being autistic, my other autistic friends don't act that way, but certain other groups do. And autistic people, I guess we have a sense of justice. We call it out. We're gonna call it out. And then we're labeled as like the aggressor, when it's like, no, people should call it out. So, like, for my autistic people, has this happened to you? And how do you deal with it in your day to day? Because, like, I cut them off. I'm going to check it there, and then I'm going to probably cut them off because I'm annoyed that you even did it in the first place and you're 30 years old. I'm already irritated because at 30 years old, you should know better. At 15, you should know better. So, yeah, that's just me, though. But if you're autistic, please let me know. Like, does this happen to you, and how do you deal with it? Bye.